out here on the west coast, and I literally almost stood on this mole snake. Not a very big one. See, it's just obviously basking. You see its head is down there, and the body is just here. Just got a couple of in situ. It's not a very fat one. It could certainly do with a bit more weight on it. But you can see getting right up. Just managed to get hands on this decent sized mole snake. Well, he's not decent sized, he's pretty much like sub-adult or small adult. Don't have my camera with me today, so I'm not going to get any sort of camera photos, but just grabbed a quick cell phone record shot, just a little bit of footage. I'm just going to let him go. You can see the ones out here on the west coast are super dark compared to the ones I've been finding, you know, in town and in the city of Cape Town. But yeah, been in this place for like 5-10 minutes, already got our first snake on the board. Just spotted our second herp for the day. Little angular tortoise. He's on the run. Where are you running to, brother? But I'm not going to bother this guy too much. Quick look at him, but he's on the move. Later, brother. The rain finally stopped. Just walked up on this big shed. See next to my shoe. Let's have a look what he is. We can get him off here. We can have a look. Highly keeled. Scales like that. That's obviously his head. We can just invert this thing. I think we're missing. I'm missing a little bit of his head, but pretty sure. Let's have a decent look at it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a. Actually, I'm not pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is just a Cape Cobra. Pretty cool though, decent size. But at least we know they're zooming around in the area here. Not that I didn't before, but yeah, always nice to see. So the old faithful, concrete next to the path always produces. Just flipped this little brown water snake, just chilling just off the side of the path. If it will sit still for a mere second, which they seldom do. This is just a little one. They get quite a bit bigger, but sorry for the plane noise. Let me give you a closer look at this guy. There we go. After we got rid of the plane, it's just this little brown water snake, quite a chunky little dude. But yeah, snapped a couple of photos, and we're just gonna put him back under a piece of concrete, and we're gonna keep on moving. So just flip this good looking Cape legless skink just under this piece of concrete here on the side of a trail. This is a relatively light one. I mean, usually the ones have quite a bit more dark sort of coloration on them. But yeah, these guys are exceptionally common. You see them a lot all over the suburbs, all over my other videos. But yeah, first one I've seen in a while, so nice to check in with the locals, I guess. Cape legless skink, Contius miliagris. Just let him go back under a little piece of concrete here. Later, brother. So I just flipped something pretty cool and pretty special onto this rock. This is a adult large-scaled girdled lizard, Tortoises macropholis. And if we get a close look at his scales here, you'll see they're heavily keeled. They've got these short, stubby little tails, and they're actually usually associated with euphorbia bushes, which is this right here. These obviously are usually a lot larger, and they usually sort of live amongst sort of root systems. You can see with their color, they're actually really good in terms of camouflage, of blending in with these euphorbia bushes. Like I said, they're usually pretty big, so they do a pretty good job at sort of blending in there. But yeah, super chuffed to get hands on this guy. It's not something I see all that often. I probably haven't seen one in a good year or two, so pretty cool. You can see they got really small dainty heads, really pretty sort of dainty looking lizards. So yeah, it's a nice west coast special. Tortoises macropholis, a large-scaled girdle lizard. You can go back under his little rock. Later, bro. none other than Oliver, who's way down there. I just found a little Tortoises mountain toadlet, so Oliver's getting a bit of froth on, and he's going to try to see if we can't turn up any big ones. But yeah, hoping to turn up some more Astrolacerta, the southern rock lizards, like I saw here last time, and big target for today is the Cedarburg ghost frog. So we're going to give that a red hot crack. And yo, so Oliver just flipped the first snake, or spotted grass snake, quite a nice looking one, super cold. But yeah, hopefully that means we're off to a good start, or hopefully that doesn't mean we peaked too early. Yeah, we just out here Kurt Winter's hook, little summer phylax. This guy's freezing cold, so he should be photographing quite easily. Awesome. So here's just a closer look at the spotted grass snake. You can see it's actually quite a nice boldly marked specimen in comparison to the specimens you would have seen in the KwaZulu-Natal videos. These paired dorsal blotches, should I say, that sort of join and some of these loose sort of figure 8 shapes all the way down the back. They are relatively common snakes, but I always really enjoy seeing them. But we're pretty much done with this guy, so we're just gonna let him go. He's so cold, but I'm sure once he heats up, oh, there he goes. See you later, buddy. The second herp of the day, Tortoises Olifant's gold lizard, just out in these sort of rocky corpy sections. I've previously only seen these out in the past, so nice to get hands on this guy. Obviously snap some photos, just let him go. Just hiked down into this little canyon, and quite a sick waterfall, just flowing through from up there. We're going to cruise down there and see if we can't see some ghost frogs, which would be pretty sick. Let's have a go. So this was a long process, but holy crap, this is a southern rock lizard. I saw it in a crack just now, and it just zooted off, but then I saw it again. I was busy eating a little grasshopper or something, so I left it. After it finished eating the grasshopper, I went and got pretty close to it. I put my hand right next to it. It turned around and just launched out and bit my hand, and then I was able to catch him. See, it's got an original tail. Absolutely insane. I don't know how well the light is coming out here. But I mean, you can see these things have got crazy, like aquamarine. He's got these yellow dots along the dorsal, got these red dots all along the side. Absolutely ridiculous lizards. This is a massive adult. I've never seen one this size, so super chuffed to have gotten this. Oliver's still down there. We stopped at this waterfall. He was looking for Cedarburg ghost frogs. He's not having too much luck, but this just about makes up for it, let me tell you. I never thought I'd get hands on one of these guys. Absolutely fizzing. So this is the Cedarburg ghost frog. This is pretty much our main target for today, other than the Astrolacerta, as much as Oliver will deny, but a pretty difficult frog to come across. Pretty much restricted to the Cedarburg, where we are now. They live in these small rock cracks and fissures amongst fast moving water. And the Cedarburg ghost frog, major target, done and dusted for today. Good morning. It's been a little while. I've been pretty sick with tick bite fever, so I haven't been out much at all. But this morning, that's about to change. Just waiting on Oliver, and we're gonna head out. Heading up about 100 k's up the southern cape. So after a bit of treacherous 4x4ing, going on a couple of incorrect routes, we finally managed to make it up to this sort of tar road, and we're heading way up there to that tower and making our way onto that little ridge there to try to see if we can find some pretty rarely seen lizards. But in the interim, I'm here with Oliver, and we just, of course, investigating this little seep. See if we can't find any Capensi bufo. Just down here, you can see this has been burnt relatively recently, so it's a bit of chaos, but I always like to walk through the sort of foliage, maybe spook some grass lizards or something like that. You can see him. Oliver's way down there. So I just climbed on top of a bunch of rocks here. Got our first hip of the day. It's just a marbled leaf-toed gecko. Super common up in the mountains, super common all over suburbia, so not such an exciting find, but nice to get on the board with a herp before we make our way, so my phone will focus, before we make our way all the way to the top of that tower, and then we're going to sort of be walking on that mountain looking for some rather special lizards. But yeah, we'll keep you in the loop what we find next. Just working these little rock crevices and fissures on this little boulder to end up this tiny little red-sided skink, Trachylepis aminocephalum. Doesn't have any red sides on it because it's just a little baby, but yeah, quite attractive little skinks. Nice one just to get another species on the board for today. I'm gonna go see where Oliver is. He's busy looking in ponds and seepages, but we have lizards to find. We're finally out on the trail here. It's actually a good spot for these feinbos, or the mountain variety of the Cape Dwarf chameleons. Haven't seen any yet. We have missed 3 grass lizards that just sort of scoot through this vegetation, and it's so high at the moment that it's basically impossible to see them. But yeah, we are going to carry on this contour path along the base of the mountain there, try see if we can't see any of these hemichordate lizards on these sort of rocky faces. That is the main goal for today, but if not, still gonna have a good time out. Let's see what else we can turn up. So we got another species. This is Hemichordate capensis. It was right on top of the rock crack. I sort of scooted him down, he plopped off into the grass, and Frog Boy managed to get him. Slam dunked him. You can see he's got these really nice yellow striations on the back there, long spiky tail. But yeah, Hemichordate capensis. There are 2 species of these guys in the same area, and the other one we saw was way down there. But super chuffed to get hands on this guy, so we'll definitely snap some photos of this boy. It's crazy what you find up the mountains. Just found this old ginger beer bottle, Shani, I think the makers, in this little rock crevice, and this thing must be like 50 or 60 years old. I've never seen or heard about this brand. Insane. We are carrying on this rock face here, see if we can't find any more lizards.
Yo, he just like ripped a layer of skin off.
Well, there's the Hemichordate number 3. After he this is how Oliver catches Hemichordate. He just lets them bite on. You can see he's actually made a good whack on his finger there. That's unpleasant.
Cheeky love bites.
But this guy's quite a big one compared to the other ones we've got. So again, we can get some, see, they got that long tail with those nice sort of chevron markings on the back. Graceful cliff lizard, they used to call them. Now I don't know what they call them, but Hemichordate capensis. The joys of walking on a pretty much deserted trail. I mean, you can see how growing over this trail is. There you go, it opens up again. But yeah, we've been missing so many grass lizards just on the edge of this path. But I mean, once they get in there, they're like impossible to catch. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. What is the time? 8:20. I'm heading out to, well, to sort of a place called Kommetjie in the Western Cape, on the Cape Peninsula. Gonna try and see what we can turn up. It's sort of coastal vegetation, within sort of 100 meters of the sea. So some coastal herping, gonna flip a bunch of rocks, maybe turn up some breviceps, some lizards, some fossorial critters, and maybe a couple snakes. I've never been out here before. We're essentially going all the way to that mountain and over it. So we're gonna see how that goes. Always cool checking out a new area. But until we get there, I'll check in with you when we arrive. So just got to, not the spot I'm aiming for, but this is a general sort of idea. You can see there's a nice boardwalk running through here. It's a lighthouse. There's the sea. There's tons of this coastal vegetation with a bunch of junk hanging around, but as you can see there are just tons and tons of rocks, especially on this ocean side. But I think where we're gonna have the most luck is the bits and pieces of rocks and vegetation, well, amongst the vegetation over here. So we're gonna have a squiz and see what we can turn up. So I just turned up the first hope of the day under that little rock. And here we have Scolotes bipies, or the silvery dwarf burrowing skink, essentially a limbless lizard with two tiny, very minuscule limbs on the rear there, each having two tiny little toes that you can barely see. But yeah, just on the side of this boardwalk, and as you can see, if it'll focus in the background, there is just one of the lighthouses. It's actually called the Slungkorp Lighthouse, which is the snakehead lighthouse. So hopefully we'll pick up a few snakes. But yeah, nice to get on the board of these guys. I always enjoy seeing them. You'll see when I release it now how it just disappears into the soil. And there it goes. Well, we seem to be certainly in the right place for snakes. Here's a shed. I don't know how well you can see this. Let me try to pull it out. It's fairly long. It's well over a meter. Oh, yeah, the head is... Let's see if we can just make the head out here. What does this guy look like? It looks like a big old mole snake. Well, not a big mole snake, but... So pull this shed all the way out here. So I managed to get the entire shed out. It's definitely not a mole snake. The head is so far gone I can barely see. But yeah, I would expect a mole snake of that size to be much thicker, much more robust than this. But yeah, nice to see a bit of snake activity, the only snake activity we've seen in the area. So we finally got another reptile. I was chasing after some lizards. You can barely see their tracks just in the sand there, shooting between all these bushes. But I was just scuffling at the base of this little bush, and I came across a tiny little Tetradactylus ceps, or the short-legged ceps. You guys have seen these in the videos before, if you watch the others, that's of course. But yeah, this is a super tiny one, quite nice. I haven't seen any records from them from the area, and I wasn't expecting to just find them in this loose, soft sand. So super stoked to get this one on the board, Tetradactylus ceps. So I made a tack to a reassessment and just headed over to another spot. I was way down there where the lighthouse was, and the national parks people were less than accommodating, so I left, walked through this little open section here, nothing but a couple of Cape skinks. So probably gonna call it, and I'll probably only head out again tomorrow, because I mean it's already the heat of the day now, so not much is gonna be happening. And yeah, I'll probably head out tomorrow with Oliver again, and we'll see what we're gonna get up to. So we're working all this junk here, flipping boards and bricks and logs and looking what's in these pipes. But I just flipped this, and we got two parapeak potloopers. This is quite a good looking one, got a bit of a funky shell. What's up, buddy? This one is not so good looking, but equally cool. Seeing a potloop, what does this look like? A little female. But yeah, pretty stoked to get some pictures of these dudes. So Oliver just flipped another little potlooper. This is actually quite a nice one. Nice colors. You can see he was just chilling under this beautiful piece of indigenous cardboard. A little bit sandy. What does this guy look like? What's a little female? Nice little potlooper. Just at the base of this mountain in the trash. This is how it goes sometimes when you're trying to photograph tortoises. You just set a couple up and hope one of them comes out their shells at some point, because the moment These guys are playing pretty hard to get, or pretty hard to photograph because they're not coming out at all.